What's going on? How y'all doing? So about a week ago, I was watching Vlad TV, which I do watch, and Boosie the rapper, was on there, and his interviews are always intriguing. Because even if you don't agree with him, it's almost like Bernie Mac. It's like he got this other vice coming out of him. It's a trip. Well, anyway, he had a real interesting point he was trying to make. He said, living or dead, that R. Kelly is the GOAT music artist. And I had to hit some comments on there because I had to. But I will say this. I wanted to address that in my own video. Bootsy said R. Kelly is the GOAT, living or dead. I disagree, but I will say this in R. Kelly's defense. I'll say over the last 30 years, if I can use 1990 to now, he's the most dominant R&B, but you could throw pop, you could throw hip hop. I mean, he vocally, the voice of the cat, that he was the R&B cat. He's still the king of R&B, modern day. Ain't nothing changed with that. Regardless of legality issues or what have you, I ain't gonna be fake like a lot of these people gonna be fake and fraudulent. Because I didn't love the music too much, and his songs, he wrote too many great songs and too much of an impact. So, stuff is timeless. So, you know, and he was very impactful with hip hop. I mean, hook work, crazy. I mean, R. Kelly is kind of like, it's like a Bill Withers meets Michael Jackson meets Rick James in the sense of the blackness of it, his story. Not so much the music, but the everyday brother type of thing. But yeah, he's got that Lionel Richie, Ray Charles versatility with that Sam Cooke, Bobby Womack feel. And yeah, he got a LL Cool J street thing going with hip hop. So you got all these different elements. Obviously, Curtis Mayfield influence, Donny Hathaway soul, Marvin Gaye feelings. He'll throw some Barry White. He'll throw a lot of mixture of different people at you. And throw some slickness, almost like a Johnny Guitar Watson. I mean, he'll throw a lot of different look at you. And croon you, he'll throw a nod at a Jackie Wilson. He's got a lot of different levels. There's a Michael Jackson influence. There's a lot of influences there. If I go by the 90s to now, he's peerless. The only person that kind of has had an impact to rival him the last 30 years would probably be Dr. Dre, because you go by the Chronic and everything with Snoop and his production. But musically, R. Kelly the last 30 years has been peerless. The last person that impressed me was like Bruno Mars, but he's got a long way to go before he gets the R. Kelly hits. Now, if you're asking me forever and ever and ever, ever, no, I couldn't agree with Boosie on that one, because Michael Jackson was the most dominant artist of my lifetime, and ain't nobody before or since is gonna strike a chord like Michael did. I think Michael and Stevie Wonder, to me, are the two GOAT artists, and that's a debate. Yeah, most people don't give Michael get this entertainer. Look, he made classic albums. He changed the course of music twice. Them songs speak for themselves. The impact speaks for themselves. R. Kelly would tell you, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. I mean, Stevie Wonder had the greatest run of albums. Period. R&B pop. Period. Changed the game. There are other artists, Now, I will say this, R. Kelly, now if you go live in death, I'll say this. He belongs in the GOAT discussion. Yeah. He belongs in conversation with Michael Jackson and with Steve Wonder and with Lionel Richie. And you want to throw Ray Charles, you want to throw Sly Stone, you want to throw Jimi Hendrix, you want to mention Prince. You want to mention Rick James, because I think Rick James is songwriter. If you think about it now, for writing for other people, bringing people back, Rick James did with the Temptations, did it with Smokey Robinson. R. Kelly did it with the Ozzy Brothers, did it with Charlie Wilson. Tina Marie, unknown, hit. R. Kelly with the Leah. Think about it. I mean, I'm just talking about the music. Girl group, Mary Jane Girls. R. Kelly did it with Changing Faces. So remember, there's some parallels with that too. But yeah, R. Kelly belongs in the conversation with the GOATs. I can't call him the GOAT, because I've seen there's some artists that I would put over. But I will say he definitely belongs in the conversation. I will say for his era, though, post New Jack Swing, post Teddy Riley, post what's going on with hip hop was the most dominant force. This guy, vocally, his instrument, you couldn't do nothing. From the 90s to the mid 00s, he was like a singular figure in R&B that the needle started and stopped with him. He's the guy that was the link between the two worlds. That soul ain't no joke. And he still, let's stop kidding ourselves. I ain't gonna never stop listening to R. Kelly. I mean, always gonna be down. The music is timeless. I don't care what nobody says or what have you. They still making money off him in Hollywood. Don't be fooled by the fake Me Too move and all that. But the answer to the question, for his era, he trumps Beyonce, Usher, D'Angelo, Brian McKnight, Maxwell, Tevin Campbell. And I love all those artists. I got much respect for all those artists. But he's on another plateau, really. When you think about it, as a writer, producer, artist. So, he's in the GOAT conversation, but I can't call him the GOAT. But Boosie did have me thinking about it because, I will say his uniqueness to hang with hip hop and do what he did for so long, and we're talking about a 30-year career, he's in the conversation. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about Boosie calling R. Kelly the GOAT. But what do you think? Who's the GOAT to you? Give me your thoughts. Hit the like, subscribe. When the bell rings in the video, wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another. And it's always good to have healthy debates. And it doesn't matter what happens to a person, because we always going to remember the art. You can never take that away from talent, God-given talent, regardless. So let's just focus on this discussion. All right, peace.